Hello, buds and buckaroos. We did it! One video down, 8 subscribers, 50 plus views. YouTube monetize me! In last week's video, we did absolutely nothing. We went to Starbucks and we sat in my kitchen. So today we're gonna have some spicy content for you. We're talking about, you can probably see from the title, we're gonna be talking about my favorite TV show. No, it's not Game of Thrones, it's not House of Cards, it's not frickin' SpongeBob, my dudes. It's Goosebumps. Cue the music. So, for those of you who live under a frickin' rock and don't know what Goosebumps is, it is literally my favorite TV show. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it is my favorite TV show that I've like ever seen, and not because it's like good writing or good acting or good. Actually, the set design is superb, but it is just like a really nostalgic show, and it really encapsulates like dumb humor, and it's just so freaking dumb. So it's written by the king of horror for children, R.L. Stine. He is famous. So today we're gonna be talking about my 2 favorite episodes, because controversial opinion, everybody, wait for it, the show is better than the books. I know, grab your pitchforks and your torches because I'm gonna get freaking killed. The show is so much better than the books because the books, they're just dumb. I mean, I love them, they're great, but they don't they don't encompass all that is stupid about Goosebumps. Like, it is ridiculous. So I'm gonna be talking about my 2 favorite episodes, and then a couple honorable mentions because it's hard to pick. It's literally, I'm not even kidding, it is so hard to pick my favorite episode of Goosebumps. I'm talking about just 2 today, I know, only 2. So let's get started. So in order to make this video not 16 minutes of kind of me jibber-jabbering, I'm gonna try to keep it pretty concise of why I like these episodes, and we're gonna get started. Viewers beware, you're in for some good content. That was good, that was good. Hello, buds and buckaroos. So I'm editing right now again. I'm very slow and very lazy at this. But some footage got kind of lost, or I deleted it by accident, I don't know. Either way, it's gone. So there's a weird, like, transition. Basically what I was saying, like, the 5 seconds that's gone is, like, my first favorite episode is The Bride of the Living Dummy. It kind of just cuts right into it. So it's just, like, another kind of lead-in, but it got just cut out. So hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Okay, hopefully it's up soon. Probably not. Okay, bye. Bride of the Living Dummy. So it is about Jillian and her dumb sister Katie, who is the most whiny child I've ever met, and she has a doll named Mary Ellen, who is terrifying. She looks like a fucking like Cabbage Patch Kids on like heroin. She's insane looking. And then we have, of course, Slappy the Dummy and his like puppet master, Mr. Jimmy O. James, who is like the poster man for like child predation. He's terrifying. I do not like how he looks. He is scary. He is like part of the reason why he scared me. This episode scared me in general because, hello. It goes along the journey, the ride, the courageous acts of Jillian. Basically what happens is Jillian and Katie get Slappy the Dummy because Jimmy O. James think they can care for this dummy, and they're like, what the fuck? This dummy's gonna live with us? Like, okay. And apparently Slappy was like, that doll right there, Mary Ellen, let me wife her up. They like fall in love, I guess. It is the most ridiculous thing ever because, you know, they're dummies. And basically I'm fucking talking about Goosebumps. Who am I? So basically it's just one night their parents just go out for some reason and leave these 2 like 12-year-olds alone in their house. And there are a couple like parts in this episode that make little to no sense, and are genuinely like actually pretty scary. One of them being, so they leave, the parents, and Jillian was like, okay, there's been spooky shit happening, my mom's wedding ring is gone, Slappy appeared on my vanity with lipstick, and he's just like a fucking weirdo. And so Jillian's like, I'm gonna go so she fucking takes a cab to this, like, loft, this apartment, right? And she just goes, she's probably like 14 or 15, to this old man, Jimmy O. James's, like, apartment, and, like, bitch, you're gonna get killed. I'll throw up, like, a picture of, like, this scene, because it is just, the set design for this one is, like, insanely creepy, because it's just doll parts all over, like, puppets are, like, strewn about. Not here for that. I'm not about to get murdered here. And then she opens the case that Slappy comes in, and her fucking dog is in it. Like, how dumb do you have to be to not realize that your big, like, Australian Shepherd like dog is just in a suitcase, not making any noise? The logic in this show is astronomically stupid, and that's why I love it. It is so funny. So basically, they go back to the house. Slappy is, like, kind of doing his thing. He's dicking around. He's, like, 2 feet tall, and he's about to murder these kids. And the best, my favorite personal part is when he appears on the vanity of Katie, and you just see him on this vanity. He's just like, and you just hear in the background, he's like, I want my prime. The voice actor for Slappy is just so good, so funny. They end up saving, like, the day, of course. They find Mary Ellen apparently is also alive, keeping Katie captive and being like, what Mary Ellen wants, Mary Ellen gets. And that's an accurate representation of what she sounds like. Watch the episode, go to that end scene. I should be paid to do these voices. But they save the day, the dolls are destroyed, and they have a friend, I don't know what his name is Harrison, who just, like, is the comic relief, I guess. He's kind of dumb. He doesn't really have any point to the show or the episode, but he's, like, hilarious. And he's locked in the bathroom because Slappy did that. And every episode usually has, like, an M. Night Shyamalan, like, twist ending. So the twist is that fucking Slappy's spirit just, like, oozes out of him and just goes through the vents, and, like, Harrison just, like, gets it. He got it. And you see him, and I'm gonna recreate this scene. It is ridiculous. So he's, like, facing the mirror in the bathroom, and he turns, I'll just show you. And that's it. Like, he just stares, he kind of laughs a bit, but that's, like, the ending. It's like, oh, Harrison got our favorite character. Like, I honestly didn't care. But it's so good. Like, the episode, in my opinion, is so good, because as a child watching this, like, I was pissing my pants. Not laughing. Now I'm laughing. Like, pissing my pants laughing, but I was so scared of this episode. And it's also just as campy as it is scary. I think all Goosebumps episodes are fantastic, because they are super campy and ridiculous. Also, fun fact, they're Canadian, because Arlstein, I think he lives in New York, but all the shows, the episodes of the series were filmed in Canada, and so you hear how Canadian they are. Like, they're like, watch out, a boot. It's just, like, not even to make fun of, like, the Canadian accent. It's just, it's so obvious that these people are not from America. Also, just a side note, I said I love all episodes. That's a false statement. If you out there like strained peas, an old story, or awesome ants, you can get the hell out of my room right now. Anyway, that was a tangent. Oh, that's gross. The other episode that really caught my childhood heart, this one was one of the special ones, so it's a two-parter, is Night in Terror Tower Parts 1 and 2. This one is like my favorite, not because it is like scary with like monsters or it's like the dolls or like whatever, but like from like a child's perspective, like the premise of the episode and just the real like life aspects of it are pretty like scary, and it has some like real world like ramifications that just happen to anybody. So I really appreciate that some of the episodes aren't scary because there's like jump scares or because there's anything like really ooky spooky about it, but because it's taking like a real life scenario and kind of making it seem like it could happen to anybody. So basically it's about our good old buds, Sue and Eddie, and they're in London and their parents are at a conference. They don't say what it is, so it's like, oh, my parents, yeah, they're and they're going on this tour to Terror Tower, which I've never been. I don't think it's real, but they're making it seem like it's just like the biggest sight to see in London. I'm like, I don't think so. And if you see the episode, like, it's a cool looking castle, but it's like pretty small. The Goosebumps lore is just so dumb. So the whole premise is they go to this tower where people used to be tortured back in like the old and like medieval days. And the first half of the episode isn't anything like out of the ordinary. They like see a couple like of the guards wax figures like kind of move and some like spooky stuff like that. And they hear the history about these prince and princess, brother and sister, who get captured and like executed because their uncle wanted to overthrow the throne. Brother and sister. Do we have any other brothers and sisters here? Like, the foreshadowing in this episode is just ridiculously in your face. I don't know how I missed it as a child. When I heard the twist, or one of the twists, I'm like, gasp. So anyway, like lightning flashes, they like go into like an unauthorized area, and they lose their memory. And they don't know where they are, they get separated from their tour group. It's like, bad. They run into this like Inigo Montoya, like Princess Bride looking figure, who has like the big hat, and he was just like, and he was like, hey kids, like, I'm gonna kill you, come with me and you won't be killed. And they're kind of like, wait, what? You, we don't trust you. A lot of the dialogue in this show is pretty, cringy. It's one of the hallmarks of the series because it's a children's show. They're not looking for great, like, dynamic characters, not looking for great scripts, but I mean, one of my favorite parts of the episode is when Eddie learns that in the torture chamber, people get, wait for it, tortured. And he goes, tortured? So did he say tortured? And I'm like, yeah, Ed, that's what happens in the torture chamber. Who would have thunk? Like, the more you know, reading rainbows. But anyway, this guy has these like 3 like stones. It looks like those stones you find in the river that when you like hit them together, like you like hold on. Fucking these. Like they went to a river and they got these stones and they were like, oh, props. So anyway, he does this weird thing with the stones, and then Eddie like kicks him and he like leaves, and apparently Eddie's like the best like pickpocketer in the whole world, because he's like fastest hands no west. And I'm like, okay, like get at him, kid, like go off. But so they escape him and they go into London, and this is kind of where, in my like opinion, like the episode gets really good, and one of the reasons why the episode is actually genuinely scary, at least to me, like watching it, it made me not feel scared, but it made me feel super anxious, because they get out of the tower, they go through like an underground tunnel, get out into the street, and this policeman kind of catches them and he's like, hey, like, it's after hours, like, what are you doing in the tower? And they're like, this bitch tried to kill me, like, want to call 999? And they're like, oh, I am the 999. I hope that's like actually their 911 in the UK, so we'll see about that. So they go into the hotel, try to check in, their room is vacant, but they live there. That's where they're staying. And there's no conference at the hotel. Like, all of these twists and turns, I can't keep up with them. So basically they lose their memory, and whatever they were thinking is like totally false. What I find like genuinely scary and giving me anxiety about this episode is the fact that like there are these like 2 like kids who don't know what they are. They're in a foreign country. They don't have a cell phone. They don't have a way to get a hold of their parents. They can't get home. They're lost in a city, and they can't remember like who they are. They can't remember like where they're going. And just that fact of like being somewhere you don't know and not being able to get home, that's one of like the like triggers that probably a kid feels, like not being able to like be with your parents again, or not being able to go home, be in your own bed, like be somewhere on your own in the middle of the night, just like alone by yourself with like people after you. Like that's like genuinely, you don't need monsters to get the kind of like fear across. Like you get that kind of sense of, oh, like crap, they're in some hot doo-doo water now. Like, it's it was genuinely, like, I watched it a few days ago and it made me feel like really like depressed. Anyway, so the second half of the episode starts with them being like, well, I don't remember my name. Oh no, Eddie, oh no. Sue talks like she's freaking Judy Garland, but Canadian. It's really funny. Inigo Montoya comes back with his little stony buddies, and Eddie is like, oh, but I took 2 of them, because he has 3. And he was like, okay, well, give them back, and I'll take you home. And then he gives them back to him, and of course, like, he's not gonna do anything good with them. So he, like, does his little thing, and they get sent back to the freaking, like, medieval times. Like, they go back to, like, the olden days. And, get this. Remember back when they said that the brother and sister Prince and Princess of York were captured and killed? Can you guess who they are? Oh, wait, hold on. It's them. So they go off and they are in this like village, and they find out eventually when they get captured that they are indeed the Prince and Princess of York, cause I guess frick real history, am I right? Just like throw in some random people, Prince and Princess of York, cause nobody really knows what York is, I guess, if you're A, so that makes sense. And this freaking Merlin knockoff, Discount Merlin, comes over. His name is like Morgrid, like Hagrid and Merlin, or he's a sorcerer basically. He was like, well, I'm your guardian, and I was supposed to like take care of you, but I failed. And they basically are like, okay, now it's time to get your head chopped off. And Sue was like, chin up. We got to do this with dignity. And I'm like, dignity? Like, you're about to get murdered. Like, I'm going to be crying and pissing my pants. Like, thank you, Sue, for the advice, but like, also frick the frick off. Do 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 do. Roll credits. So those 2 episodes, in like my opinion, they're not the best. I have a few honorable mentions. When they go to Horrorland, I was gonna talk about it. I was actually gonna do a top 3, and that was gonna be in there. But I also didn't want this video to be really long anyway. But that one is really good in my opinion because it's the first one I've ever seen when I was little. It holds a really special place to my heart. The book series, like there's a spin-off, like the Horrorland book series that freaking slaps. It's so good. Read it. There's 12 of them and they are like 90 pages each. It will take you 4 minutes to read. They're pretty simple. Shocker on Shock Street, another honorable mention. It's one of my favorites because of how many times they say the word like shock, or they get shocked because they get electrocuted a couple of times. A couple minor electrocutions happen in the episode, no big deal. Those 2 are fantastic. Really, any of the specials, Werewolf of Fever Swamp, Haunted Mask, Part 1. Part 2 is absolute garbage. Throw that into the garbage with strained peas, with an old story, and with awesome ants. Goodbye. So really, that kind of encapsulates like my love for Goosebumps. Now I know probably a lot of you watching are like, Goosebumps, like, are you actually 7? Are you really that dumb? I thought you were in college. I thought you were smart. I thought you had better taste. Well, I guess not, because Goosebumps still is one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Not really because it's that great, not because it's groundbreaking, but because it's funny, it's campy, it kind of gives you some ooky spooky scares. So, with that said, that's really all I have for you guys today. I planned this a while ago. I wanted to talk about Goosebumps for a while, and I had a better plan than this, but I kind of just wanted to sit down and talk about kind of just one-on-one, you and me, like, hello, how are you, bud? And just like, just have like a stream of consciousness about why I love Goosebumps. And if you don't like it, you clicked off like 10 minutes ago, but you're here. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. From me to you, congratulations. Here is your medal. Alright, buds and buckaroos, that's really all I have now. Finally, that's all I have now. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye.